Low tag facilitators. I'm going to try something, have you here with me as I walk through a basic session with a client. So I'm going to put the client's name here. I'm just going to call her client, although it is a real person. Triple cocoon. Again, I do this because for me it's the visual and important. Hitchhiker shield, hazmat suit, the date, and the issues. There's several issues she has. This is not a basic tag session, but I'm going to use a part of her information for to show you how I shorthand a tag session. So what I'm going to concentrate on is that she has elevated white blood cells. Okay. Now we might just be able to pass that off as like, oh, it happens all the time, comes, goes, body's doing its job. But she's very, very aware of energy and wants to always stay ahead of the game. She has her own abilities, and so this is an additional, including me in information. So elevated blood cells, we know is there a message in that? So I ask, is there a message that the blood cells have for her? And I get the answer yes. So I usually put yes message. It's in a freeze frame situation. Therefore, the box, meaning I understand there's a message. We're going to get it. You don't have to expand. You don't have to shout louder. So then I start using the pendulum, and I want to know when this situation was triggered. And I'm going to ask, is it days ago? And it's like that, no. So weeks ago, months ago. So several months ago, 1, 2, 3, 3 months ago, the trigger happened. Something triggered it. Now, knowing this particular bit of information, it may be helpful in sharing with your client so they know that, yep, I remember that. That usually is what happens to me if I use a time frame. The situation happened 3 months ago that triggered this reaction in your system. It helps them to understand. And they'll usually, when I'm giving them feedback, I'll like, oh yeah, I remember that. So something happened. It was between two people, always between two. And my client is in a female body. So it was the other male. So it was a male in her life. And this is the way I write it: male, female. She's the female. There's the male. Is this male a family member? And they're saying no, maybe. So she's dating. Okay, so it's someone that she is dating or considered dating, interacting with some way in a dating capacity. Again, this is helpful information. Remember, we're not just doing healing, we're also educating. So we're educating ourselves, we're educating our client. What did she feel from that date? And this is where I use the color chart, and I don't have the chart here, but I know what it is, as you would know what it is. So what she felt from the client, or excuse me, from the date, was, hey, a good feeling. Clear green, yes, clear green. Oh, okay, that would be like a sense of love or spark or attraction. Yes. How did she react to that? And that's blue. Is that clear blue? So okay, so there was a clear green. So some spark of attraction she felt from him. She responded. Her body just automatic, clear blue, emotional balance, emotional peace. Oh, okay, this might be a good thing to go forward with. So what was she left with? In other words, what happened next for her? And swinging counterclockwise, which is muddy white or stress. So here's, wow, that doesn't quite make sense, does it? She meets somebody, She feels an attraction from him. She responds with a sense of emotional peace or calm, like this might work. But then she's left with stress. So what happened? So this clearly triggered some kind of old storage. I'll call it other lifetime OLT storage. So some pattern of an experience in the past got triggered. And I'll check that out. And they're saying, yes, that's correct. Okay, so other lifetime, was she in a female body? No, 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 she's male in that lifetime. So it was the other female. Yeah, so female, my client was male. Was the female a family member? Yes. Was it a daughter? No. Was it a wife? Wife. Yes. So now I do the shorthand. Going here, other lifetime. And my client is interacting with a female. Client, I put at the bottom is male. The female was a wife. Well, so what did my client feel from his wife? And that is yellow. Is it muddy yellow? Yes. A wife who is in physical pain. How did my client, as the husband, respond? Green, clear, clear green. Love, did what he needed to do. And what happened for what was my husband left with? The husband left with static, death. The death of the wife. Yes. So now I'm going to shorthand that. What my client, as the husband, felt from the wife was her physical pain. She had some kind of physical thing going on. He responded with love, taking care of her, doing good for her, and she died. Death of wife. So it left him with a story about love. Is that correct? Yes. And the story about love, love goes away. Love ends, goes away. There's pain, you see. So this is the entire configuration that we now know caused what is elevated white cells in her blood workup. Isn't that amazing? What do we do about that? Well, now we know all of this, and all of these energies, it's as if they're still happening when they get triggered. It's like that memory vibration storage is now vibrating, and it is a real seed in her life. But we've gotten the message. So I'm going to enclose all of that, all of those, because each of those are individuals in, again, the triple cocoon, the hazmat suit. We're going to be there for you. We're getting the message. We're not going to leave you. So all this has been triple cocooned, and we're going to go after that. And then I'm going to ask, is there anything to know before we take the next step? And the answer is no. So what is the next step? The next step is to go back in time. We're going to do time travel. And I indicate that with an arrow backward like that. Okay, so you see here's the shorthand. Name, the date, the issue freeze framed. What's the trigger? Shorthand. Female interacting with a male in a dating situation. She felt good vibes, heart connection, yes, from him. She felt emotional peace or emotional connection as a response, but it caused stress in her body, in her field, bodies. Why did that happen in that way? Well, other lifetime. This is an experience where my client was a husband, wife, in physical pain. He loved her the best he could, and yet she died, and that death was very painful. Love ends, love goes away, love brings pain. You see how it relates to love, emotional peace. Whoa, I'm in it again. So we want to, okay, we got the message. This is no longer left alone to fester inside, back in time. And so here we're going to go back in time. And this is where, you have the dialogue where you work with the teams that your team, the client's causal team, and higher self. And you're going to go back to the count of 3. I'm going to sit and just get that information and talk as we do that. So we're going to go back. Before this, I want to go back farther than this. Okay? So farther than this. In this case, I'm going to do the advanced time travel to what idea was inserted. And you have both an experience to change and an insertion to stop. You have both of those handouts. And I would probably have you go back to the experience and reframe the experience. We're going to go back, gathering up any situation like this one. So I'm going to go, here I am in the future. Again, this is my shorthand, and I'm going to go back in time, and I want to gather up every situation, every experience of this love doesn't work, pain. So here they are, here. You see how I've put them all in a line as we go back, gather up, so that all of these situations are going to be included. All of these situations will be included. If you wanted to, you could do another guardian circle or triple cocoon around all of them, and I probably would. But I want to say, where did the idea come from that says love ends, and even when love ends at death, or love doesn't help? That's where I just sit and I look for the conversation outside of our galactic family's live stream, looking through the window to see there's a group discussing an idea, and it's the outsider group. They always appear to me in male bodies, because that's the body they've owned in my experience on Earth. So here are, and I usually get a sense of how many. So I sense 6 beings who are domination, energy, agenda. This is far back in time, the time they still owned us. So now they owned us, and they're discussing an idea that will expand their agenda. It's going to be quiet and hear what the idea is. And the idea is that they don't want to chance our soul, the souls, when they leave the body. They don't want to chance that they'll get a glimmer of truth, of light. So they want to trap them. They want to put a ceiling on where do they go after the soul leaves the body. And so what they're choosing to do is create a structure in which the soul leaves the body. It goes to a false system, a system that looks like the earth system. So it might be like a religious concept. They believe, oh, this is heaven because this is what it was like in my religious community. But it's a false place. In that false place, there will not be a continuation of our true connections. So even though we have a sense or a belief on earth that that our loved ones don't die. They really are they really continue to live somewhere. That somewhere is such a false somewhere that we also have been given the idea that we can't talk to them. They can't communicate with us. They can't come in back and forth. So this trap system was created by it's being planned by the outsiders, so we don't reach the truth of our full light and love even after death. That's their plan. And I can see them since I'm sketching it out on a paper, just like I'm doing. This is what we're going to do. We're going to trap them in this false system. It will be an extension of what they believe heaven might look like, but it will never let them get to the true connections to their divine families, actually. That's their plan. They're going to insert that idea into our families like a mind control. So as soon as I find that, I'm going to put down your false system of light after death, after leaving body, I'll say. That entire thing, I'm going to put it in a freeze frame. It's illegal because it's illegal now. It wasn't then. It's illegal now because the domination and agenda cannot even be chosen. So it's illegal. It's not acceptable. We don't accept this plan. We don't even accept that it can be inserted. So we bring in the PTO, the SRR team, and I write that all down. And this entire configuration, and everybody connected to it, is frozen in time. Turn over to the PTO, the SRR team. It is to be neutralized, contained, bring all the tentacles into this small spot space, take it back to its home of its home source. It is never inserted. It's as if it were never inserted, like it never existed. We're holding that as truth in every experience, including this experience, which then we can free. Life is connected to light, connected to divine family, connected to home. Life is connected to light, connected to divine family, connected to home. Love, life, divine family, home is one continuous stream of which I am part. See that reality statement? I'm going to write it down here. I'm not going to do it now, but I will do the reality statement. Love, well, I'll write it. Love, light, divine family, and home is one continuous stream to which I am connected. This is on behalf of my client, move her consciousness into that reality and all connected to her in love into that reality. Go through the reality shift work, anchor it, activate it, and so it is. We place in all of these energy bodies, physical earth bodies, evolutionary blueprint download. That includes these because they're part of that stream. Activating the evolutionary blueprint download. we can come to this storage and affirm that my love is connected directly to life, light, divine family, home source, and I flow that constant stream to surround all that I love so that it moves all that I love, this life, into the journey that's highest and best for her, and my love flows with her. Her love flows to me in all time and space. The breath and ask, is there anything else that needs to be done? And that's where you could either just be quiet or ask the anyone, is there anything else that needs to be done? The one thing that I forgot to say is I asked, is this at a level 1, 2, or 3? And it's at a level 1, which means it's simply energy. And this is all complete. The reality shift will anchor. I will give her that, and she can use that to anchor to continue to release all of this that's being done. So that's my shorthand. That's kind of one issue deal. Well, that helps, right?